Peace, family. You see FONZi NeuTRON Online.com. Tapping in with some Bout that experience talking points this week. A lot of things happening within the hip hop community and culture. Your boy FONZi NeuTRON joined with Floss Mode, aka Floss Angeles. What's good with you, G?
Oh man, a lot of things going on in the news and in the world. We gonna get to it. What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's good. Floss Mode in the house.
It's definitely been a hot year for hip hop. This year so far, we're coming to the end of June right now, maybe the start of July by the time this is out. But 50 years of hip hop, I want to start with that. I mean, how do you think it's been? We're going to get into some of the BET awards. We've seen, 50 years of hip hop celebrated at the Grammys and a multitude of other awards. I personally feel as though it was an even greater look to see it celebrated the culture at the BET awards, what people said was tagged the biggest night for the culture.
Yeah, it was. It was big, and it was a lot of groups that you haven't seen in a long time that performed. One of the epic parts of the BET Awards that people was calling it the EBT Awards. It was real hood, but the one of the epic parts of the BET Awards was Busta Rhymes and him getting his award and his acceptance speech and the love that he showed and how dope he is. He's absolutely phenomenal. And how he showed love to Spliff Star. You know what I'm saying? It has its hits and misses, but on the overall, the BET for the 50, it was grand.
Yeah. I mean, definitely piece of Busta Rhymes, man. It was great hearing him show that love to Spliff Star and the hip hop community. Even personally, I thought it was a dope touch, him sending out salutations to Cool Herc and, really bigging up and emphasizing the Jamaican and Caribbean heritage and background. We see even Mad Lion did a mad performance there as well. The camera cut to Busta, he was, feeling it and that. And it was like, my whole thing is I love to see the culture represented and the different aspects of the roots. So that's why even like Busta, we know that when it comes to like Brooklyn and a lot of places in New York, actually, got
Yo. One Adam 12, one Adam 12. I don't know if he disappeared for a second. So I don't know if y'all can hear me, but yeah, the BT Awards was definitely grand, and how they showed all the female MCs love. That's what I loved about it. It was definitely black. Everybody was in attendance. You know what I'm saying? From the Migos to for what I saw, the Migos to the Young Thundercat rappers, and you know what I mean. Had MOP come out. You know what I mean. It was good to see them and all the tributes and all of that. You know what I mean? It's funny how we can come together for that, but we're not getting to the money like how we supposed to with that. So, we have to own our masters and take control of this business. You know what I mean? But it was on the overall, the BET Awards was good. It was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened there. Pardon the slight technicality. I seem to have got disconnected. The StreamYard always seems to want to act up at times, but just chiming in on that, like I was saying for the awards though, like from my standpoint, just seeing the culture come together and represent all elements. And one thing that struck a chord that Buster said about just the different generations coming together and representing, getting to not just the money, because everything ain't about money, but I suppose it is, as an artist, you want to be able to be paid for your art, rightly so, like any other vocation in business that people do, and it should be fruitful. It shouldn't be something that should be detrimental to your life, or so we see a lot of beefs and issues. Sometimes I think it's a part of hip-hop and it's a part of culture, as long as it doesn't spill out into the streets. I think people gotta have that kind of level. It's like we got a battle. I don't know if we could really call it a battle just yet, but a little backwards and forwards going on between Jim Jones and Pusha T. We'll get into that, more. But I'm here for it because I feel as though even for that, that's a part of hip hop and the culture and stuff like that as well. The BET Awards, still to kind of stick on that, there was a lot of dope performances. It was good to see Keith Murray come out, perform, and do his thing with Redman and Eric Sermon. You know what I mean? Recently, we've seen a lot of stuff online with Keith. We've seen backwards and forwards with him and Lord Jamar. People speculating and saying, you know, he doped up. He ain't the same Keith Murray, but the way he came out and he took to that stage, it was like, damn, he Keith Murray. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, even having toured and worked with him, but it was still dope to see on that kind of stage and scale and show that he's still valid and still respected within the hip hop community, even for him to get that call as well from BET. He shows, you know, he's not denounced by the community, and some people may have thought, you know, he might be blacklisted because of his outlandish interviews or something like that.
Yeah, but Lord Jamal need to knock that off, though. You know what I'm saying? Instead of talking about what a man's problem is and what his issue is, why not lend a helping hand and help the brother instead of talking about how high he is? So, you know, of course, Keith Murray, those words that he used, he's a wordsmith. Those words that he used, you know damn well that Keith Murray is smart enough to know that everybody is going to expect him to come out there and be on some high shit, and he wasn't. He went out there and did his thing how he's supposed to and sound like the record. So big up to Keith Murray. You know what I mean? And we need to start uplifting our brothers instead of talking down about, you know, oh, he high, because in behind closed doors, a lot of people getting high. They just not on the front line and nobody's exposing them.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, man. You know, well said, man. And you know, in terms of that, I mean, was there any other performances that stuck out to you? You know, piece of Coily Ray, Boston. I liked her performance that she did for like a young artist coming out representing. You had the names of a lot of other female artists on their gear. You know, it was quite, you know, Jeezy, Master P, they did their thing. Warren G did his thing. You know, little tribute to Nate Dogg. I mean, any other performances that stuck out for you of elements of the show?
Yeah, what did stick out? What's the little child name? What's the little girl name? Something with the ice in it. She I seen her on video with Nicki. Yeah, that she was with Nicki Minaj and all that. Boy, she sure got a bright future behind her. I said, boy, look at this, look at this. The Lord is my shepherd, and you know what I want. But I'm just playing. Other than that, it was good. A lot of the performances that I liked MC Light and them performances. I liked
Light was dope.
Yeah, I like Light. I liked I think Tretch and them came out. I'm not sure. I think I seen Tretch and them. You know, big up the Trigger Tretch. I'm from Inglewood, so he represent Town. So he been represent Double I, Inglewood and Town. So big up the Trigger Tretch. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see just, it was hood, it was ghetto, but that's what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? And it was built off being competitive and shooting the dead.
You know, black culture. I feel, you know, black people have a certain type of I don't want to say signature energy, but therein, I guess, we do to some capacity, and that, to me, that's like a worldwide thing. Especially, you know, you look at the Caribbean culture, you look at the African culture, you look at the culture in the Americas, and you know, just a certain type of way that I feel as though black people carry themselves and the energy that they have in response to certain things. And what we do know is sometimes in society, often, especially in a society that has a heavy Western or European sort of influence, sometimes you got to tone certain things down in certain environments, so you can't necessarily be your true self or your full self, because in some cases, some people may feel some type of way, or there's, you know, some people say there's a time and a place for some things as well. So I feel as though, you know, BT has a strong signification where you could see so many artists and so many actors and people just being black, just being themselves unapologetically. You know, they ain't got to worry about, you know, even though you mentioned Ice Spice,
blocking their shine, so somebody else doesn't be insecure or feel like feel a certain type of way. It's basically what it is you're blocking your own shine to appease some other people.
Yeah, and I don't think they had to do that there. But you know, I guess that's an interesting note and segue, because one of the things we saw recently was Pharrell. He did a show, a fashion show, and one interesting clip he was talking to Louis Vuitton, and I seen him in the clip, and he was saying to Louis Vuitton, "Oh, you know, I thank you so much for you know, giving me this opportunity. You don't know how much this means to me. You know, you bet on a black man." And somebody who's untrained, and and you deem me as worthy and stuff. But people felt like he was really, brown nosing and kind of kissing this guy's ass to a degree. But I digress. That's if people could check that clip out for themselves and see what they think, or let me know your thoughts in the comments. But one of the things about that show, Pusha T was one of the fashion guys who did a walk, and like I just seen this outfit. It looked like Talladega Nights, like Ricky Bobby type race car driving type deal,
Right,
but
Mary Poppins and all that, looking like Mary Poppins, somebody auntie.
oh yeah, no, that's the other fit. That's the other fit he was rocking.
Right.
Yeah, they be rocking a lot of weird fits. That being next part of the conversation. I was mentioning though, when Pusha T and those guys did their walk, he played a song which people say was allegedly had some inferences towards Jim Jones. Now we've seen some clips online with Jones firing back some shots. We've even seen Cam chime in on social media and kind of warn Pusha and say, Jones is still fam kind of thing. You know what I mean? So what say you about this Pusha T, Jim Jones backwards and forwards? Like I say, it wouldn't be hip hop if there wasn't a bit of backwards and forwards. So what's your thoughts on this one?
First of all, big up to Jim Jones. You're not gonna see Jim Jones in no kilt or no skirt, not disrespecting nobody or nothing like that. But what I will say about the Pharrell thing is, okay, there's nothing wrong with being gracious about the opportunity that was given to you. But the thing that I hope that they do is, okay, brother, you got the opportunity to work with Louis Vuitton. How about put some emphasis in the clothes to where they're not so tight or it's looking unmasculine? How about put the man into the clothes to where all men can fit it? Or I'm not disrespecting anybody's preference or gender or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, okay, I don't care how rich I get. I like they clothes over there in Europe and London and all that, but that don't mean I'm about to wear something out of my character to where it's gonna make my home base look at me like, what is that, a raincoat?
And the crazy thing is, just to kind of add on to that, is because one of the crazy things is what I've noticed even being in Europe, because I don't want to make it seem like us in Europe or even jacking for that either, because there's a lot of us here in Europe that we don't get down like that in terms of dress sense and style or whatever. Some people here, especially over the years, have their different ways of dressing, but that isn't like the mode of dress out here. But what it appears is when some of these rappers we've seen recently, Pusha T, Nas X, even there was one the other day with what's the guy's name, Offset and Pharrell, and they all sitting at the front, but the people behind them are all dressed normally, and they dressed or obscure or weird or whatever. And some people say, is it a thing like they have to be made a fool out of them to be accepted? Like, is it like a weird kind of ridicule kind of
or
thing?
or it's a sign that you're super rich now, that you're wearing stuff like that? Y'all ain't on this. Y'all on the same old, same old. Well, I'm gonna be on the same old because that's looking like an ice skating outfit right there, and a raincoat and an ice skating outfit. That's what it's kind of looking like.
Yeah, they don't be dressing like that in the States, man, and that kind of be the weird thing about it. And obviously everybody got their preference. We know Nas X and some of these guys are, so it's kind of like they're part of the LGBT community and stuff as well. But it's kind of like that. Yeah, I think people bow to certain types of people and give them a false sense of superiority. There was a video before like that with Meek Mill where he caught some backlash where the rich folk had him doing like hopping around the tennis court like a bunny rabbit and all that stuff. And I guess they find those things funny in rich circles, and sometimes you got to play the character. But my whole thing is, everybody commits good and everybody commits bad, so there isn't like just putting these people on a pedestal. And I know sometimes in the media it's unfair because recently in the UK the actor Kevin Spacey has been called up for some, serious allegations with, abusing his power. They say fondling men and all sorts of stuff. And the crazy thing is, it's sort of been downplayed in the media to a degree. It's not like getting that widespread coverage. But when we see things on the flip side, where they quick to say, okay, well, R. Kelly groomed, minors or something, and then in these instances, we have other people in the industry like, Kevin Spacey, a huge actor. He's been in so many movies from Seven to
he being real spacey right now.
American Beauty. Oh, he way spaced that on that kind of vibe, and he's denying the charges. But I mean, a lot of men have come forward and said that he's been like a bully and fondling them and groping them. It kind of sounds like what's that black guy Terry Crews when he said he was at them them parties or the
throwing his gay weight around. That's because he's a part of the mob. That's because he's a part of the mob.
They can just grab your nuts and stuff, and you're supposed to just take it. Crazy, man.
He's a part of the mob. What I think is that, no disrespect to nobody, but I think that the alphabet mob is they're going too hard right now. I think they're taking everything too seriously, to where even in comedy you can't say nothing. Everybody's taking something offensive, and then they're throwing their weight around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did you say? You said something about what? And all that time. They're going hard on everybody. So I'm just saying, tone it down a little bit. Everybody know y'all done blew the door off the hinges. Everybody know that y'all here, but that doesn't mean that you have to throw y'all weight around and censor everybody and you know what I'm saying? Like, if people hating on you, then you get them. But I think they just like censoring everybody, but at the same time throwing their agenda out there to the world. Like I said, no disrespect to nobody, but I just feel like I'm just feeling the tension of other people. They like, damn, we can't even say nothing no more. It's like, you know what I mean? Of course, Kevin Spacey's not going to get in trouble because he's part of the mob. You know what I'm saying? So you get with it or get lost. So, I think that, abusing your power, that's no different than a Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? It's just no different, except he just on some Kevin Spacey is men,
I mean, it did sound very eerily similar to Harvey Weinstein when I did hear the story and stuff. And then, as you said, it wouldn't be the first time we've heard some of these things in regards to people from Hollywood. I'm sure a lot of them categorically deny the allegations and stuff. But I'm also wanting to bring it up in representation of just the disparities that we see in modern media. Some things I feel sometimes if it's a black person, it's generally turns into something I've ridiculed where everybody kind of laugh, and if it's like a white person, some aspects they either downplay it or it's sort of okay, give them a chance to clear their name and stuff. I mean, recently we've seen another black athlete actually being dragged in the media, Zion Williamson from the NBA, and a porn star by the name of Mariah Mills has allegedly came out and claimed to be pregnant by him, and she's caused a whole sort of firestorm online. Putting his business out there and all sorts of stuff. And, there's a lot of backwards and forwards with that. I mean, what do you think of this? I mean, people say we've seen the John Morant thing recently. Now we've seen this. People say, well, these guys are young. They're going to be just doing, I guess, what young people do, young, dumb, and full of what. But, I mean, what's your thoughts on this one?
This is my thoughts on it. On the show, this is what we're gonna do from this point on. We're gonna have something new on the show right now, and it's called the Dingbat Award. You know what I'm saying? When somebody just outrageously does something, just you know what I'm saying, that they deserve the Dingbat Award, and I feel like she deserves the Dingbat Award because of the fact of, in relationships, I call it relationship, but in relationships, all is fair in love and war, and people are going to bump heads. Things happen. Sometimes people don't work out. Sometimes they do. But the fact of, the profession that she has, it's a very sticky situation when somebody who their profession is porn is having sex on film. For when they say that they're pregnant, you better have that paperwork off top. You know what I'm saying? You already know you're going to go through the rigmarole. That's one thing, but to go out of the comfort zone of those two people and to hit social media and write letters and saying that this man should be dropped from the team and all that. You wasn't running up and down the court. You know what I'm saying? That man got where he was supposed to get to on his own. He met y'all. It didn't work out. Okay, boom. You pregnant? Okay. In actuality, you in a privileged situation. Why are you mad? You know what I'm saying? Even if he is denying it, if he's denying it and it's true, then you have nothing to worry about. Ching ching. But to go out your way to go on social media to see this brother's demise, come on, man. It's like it's immature. You know what I mean? You know, I love your work. I didn't seen your work. You know what I'm saying? But still in all, you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. You know, what make you different than any other of these girls that deal with these athletes and rappers and entertainers and all that type of thing? Take that shit on the chin, you know what I'm saying, and let the games begin. What you mad about?
I mean, doing something like that allegedly. I don't know if I'm remembering right. Was Drake in an alleged situation like that? Did he get a porn star pregnant or something?
Man, Drake he be in all of it. He be in the mix. The people just don't know he be in all the mix. But not. I think I heard something about that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't really
Yeah, I
put
don't
it
know the
down.
details. I don't want him to try and pull a Cardi B, Tasha K, and be like, "You're putting out false information." I'm gonna get my lawyers on you and all that. But yeah, I don't know too much about that. Cardi B, Tasha K. I mean, Cardi B, she was back in the media this week with a tweet that was or Instagram post that was put out by Offset that was then deleted, saying something to the effects of my wife cheating on me, and then she put something out in response saying she ain't got to cheat on nobody, and if she was cheating, then she rich and famous, and niggas and people know about it because no nigga will be able to hit it and kind of not be able to keep their mouth closed or something to that effect. So quite
That's because
an
he's doing
interesting
something.
story
That's
in
That's because
development there.
he doing something, and this guilt is coming out. But first of all, a woman don't need a record deal or anything like that for her to get the same attention as she would as she had a record deal and a star. Women don't need any of that to pull
Yeah,
it.
I
Women
think
don't, you know what I'm
she's trying
saying?
to say like because she's famous, somebody would blab, but I don't think that's necessarily true because a lot of the times, as you said, if a woman be doing that thing, they got ways of keeping it on the underwear. 9 times out of 10, it probably ain't gonna come out as much as like if a dude did it, it probably gonna come out. You know what I mean? They play the game a little different.
Right, because she has so many scapegoats. Okay, a guy is close to her, but like we see a lot of the time, those entertainers and those girls, they have men around them, but a lot of time the men be gay. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have them around because they don't want nothing from them, and they can still have their company and all that. But what they with those type of women, the stars, what they do is they don't get nobody else that's in the business. You know what I'm saying? That's too much on the scope. They'll go get somebody that's the trainer, or you know what I mean, the person that trains them in the gym, or a nobody. Because even if the person goes back and says that they did do something with Cardi B, ain't nobody gonna believe them no way. So that's what they get down is. That's how they do their thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely could see that. And the celebrity culture is something that's definitely taken the whole world by storm to a different degree. A lot of people clamoring for success. Some people have found it. Some people are still on their way, climbing the proverbial ladder on their respective journey. Um, at this moment in time, I do want to extend my condolences to DC Young Fly and his family, and his wife recently passed, Miss Jackie O, to which we have seen an abundance of people chiming in, even in regards to that situation. Some people feel as though it was a Hollywood sacrifice. They say, what they say in heart. They say
What's
in
Jackie
order
O?
to get,
The
they
rapper?
say,
The rapper Jackie O?
no, he Miss Jackie O. She was married to DC Young Fly.
Was she an entertainer? That not the Jackie O, the rapper Jackie O from Miami, I think, right?
Yeah, no, because I mean, not Black Jackie O. I mean, I believe they said she was mixed, but not Black Jackie O from Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was I believe she was a part of the Wild and Outcast. This Jackie, it was Miss Jackie O, like
Oh,
OH.
okay.
And I mean, I'm with you because when I seen it, I was like, because biting and same names. But I suppose we're in a time now where there's a Nas and a Nas X, and they make records together.
Who made records together? Nasir and Nas
Nas and
X.
your boy, oh boy, yeah, come on.
Nasir from Queensbridge and Nas X did a song.
Yeah, you ain't know that.
What is the world coming to? I mean, I can see it from a business point because of the record companies or something like that. But
like, yeah, I thought, yeah, I mean, I bugging and say they got a song called Rodeo or something apparently.
oh, you know, they speaking of that, they got the new stuff, the new music with the AI or whatever. You heard of that?
Yeah, AI. I mean, I don't believe it was AI. I do actually think there's actually a video to it. I don't recall watching it, but because you know I remember hearing that Nas X thinking, you know, Nas gonna have something to say, but yeah, you know, they're doing videos and stuff for, you know, I guess you know the industry.
I want to hear the song. I want to hear the song. Like, what could Nas really talk about on a song with Nas X?
Yeah, he just like, yeah, he say the same, you know, he kind of do his Nas thing. Let me see. Yeah, I guess he do his Nas. He do his Nas Esco film.
You know what I got to say to that? This the new Tupac gear that I got busted out. Let's talk about some real shit right here. This the new Tupac gear that I have. Rest in peace to the homeboy Pac. You know, Pac birthday just passed not that long ago. You know what I mean? But you know, speaking of the DC Fly,
that Machiavelli branded.
Yeah, it's like it's Tupac gear. You know what I mean? It's so authentic in the quality of it. But back to DC Fly. You know, rest in peace to his baby's mother. But the cold thing about the story of that is how Corey Holcomb, big up to Corey Holcomb in the 5150 show, how Corey Holcomb had said something. You know, he's a comedian, and I felt where he was coming from when he had said it. He was like, I wish my baby mama died or got killed. You know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of people took it, you know, and ran with it and made a big thing out of it. But you know what I'm saying? He wasn't throwing no shade onto DC Fly's, you know, baby mama or whatever. It was the fact that, you know, he probably was going through something with his baby mama, Corey Holcomb. And he felt like that for him to say it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's the big deal about it, but you know what I mean? Shout out to that nigga Corey Holcomb. You know what I mean? He showing how to say the right things at the right time.
Well, yeah, I mean, and sometimes I think people may look at it as a timing thing or, you know, sensitivity issues and stuff like that. But I think, you know, a comedian should be allowed to sort of be a comic. I do have to say sometimes, you know, comedy is one of the last safe areas, I guess, where you can, you know, express yourself a certain type of way without it being called into account. But I feel as though even like now we're seeing things that, you know, maybe at one stage people wouldn't have batted an eyelid about comedy-wise. Now people are scrutinizing and saying, oh, you know, that's maybe a bit too far. Because as you said, in that kind of instance, I'd look at that as that's a joke he's making about his baby mother. So it's about like the joke's on her. It isn't actually on like DC.
Right, right. Like,
or wife or anything like that. But it's, you know, I guess it's comedy. I mean, here you asked for this. Hey, you see a clip if you can see this. I ain't gonna play the audio because the copyright. And who's that right there?
Oh wow! Oh wow! Wow! That's all I got to say. I ain't even gonna say nothing. All I got to say is wow.
Yeah, wow. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah. So sometimes I know because we think like you would think. I never thought I'd see the day, you know. But some people say, you know, we've seen a lot of changes now in music and hip hop. Obviously, 50 years of hip hop, we're still celebrating the culture.
And you know how I feel about Nas X. You know, he just set black people back 500 years to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, he just set black people back. further and further back.
Yeah, I feel as though we spoke about this on a podcast before. Probably did in an early episode because I remember saying like, how how's Nas cool with that being a Nas X? Because I was saying, you think Jay-Z would be cool with if somebody, not to compare Nas and Jay, but if somebody was coming out trying to call themselves Jay-Z X or Jay-Z X13 or something, Jay would shut that shit straight down if they go shut, But I don't know, Nas kind of different, so I guess Nas, he could be a fan of Nas X. He collaborated with him, and he got to,
I mean, the only thing that I give him the benefit of the doubt is the fact of it was a company thing. The companies made them do it, and it was a lucrative type of ordeal going on. But still, in all, without saying a whole bunch, Queensbridge. That's all I gotta say.
What you say? You think Queens take the L on that? Queens keep on faking it.
I wouldn't say Queens keep on faking it because
I'm just going for the bridges over.
You trying to get me into some shit? You trying to get me into some shit?
Yeah, well, I'm using that's KRS words,
KRS did say Queens keep on faking it. He did say that.
Yep.
No, big up Jamaica, Queens, St. Albans, and all that. I'll be out there in Queens, so I can't really go too hard.
Especially shit, I love Jamaica. I can't go hard, especially Jamaica, Queens. Like I said, I mentioned it in Brooklyn earlier, but and Buster mentioned Jamaica, Queens, full of yardies and all that too, man. Jamaica, a whole lot of our folks out there. So yep. But yeah, Nas, I think I don't want to say it's an alpha. I definitely remember speaking on this on a podcast before, and I was like, yeah, I didn't want to say it's an alpha like for New York or for the East. So I was kind of like, if anything, Nas got, Queen. If people got to look at like an Al, it's probably just like an Al for Queens. And that's
what I will say though,
I can't be the one to say that, but yeah.
What I will say is that little clip that I seen that you just showed with Nas on there. The thing that I did see, because with a real quick peripheral, is he didn't look like he was real comfortable, like rapping in like, even though like, what I'm saying, he did this song. When I just saw it, it didn't look like he was real comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But all I know is if somebody was like Nas on TV, I'm gonna come. What? And Nas X. I'll be like, what? I'm still in somewhat disbelief, man. So that's why I ain't gonna say too much. But wow.
No, but I'm sure they made a little bit of money and stuff from it. I don't think he necessarily got the biggest response, but it is what it is. I'm glad Nas X ain't do no BET awards. I ain't heard that nothing, because I know a few people was upset with his past performances on the BET awards and stuff like that. The BET awards reportedly now to be back in the hands of black folk, where for whatever that's worth, whatever that means. Some saying Tyler Perry has now stepped in and bought majority interest, or him and whoever potentially. So we'll see how the awards and stuff go. I think it's good to continue celebrating the culture. We want to say everybody out there going through some stuff, stay focused.
It should have never been sold in the first place. On some real, I don't know the problems that Bob Johnson had or whatever, all up in his financial mix as far as BET, but it should have never been sold in the first place. And they lucky that it's somebody else that's black that has even enough money to be able to do that. So I hope that Tyler Perry brings back BET. I'm talking about the old BET, like where you would watch all the shows and then they would have like BET Uncut. You know what I'm saying? They'll play, they pleased everybody, and then they'll wash it down at the end with a little bit of gospel, and he'd be like, "Cause God," and they'll have like the gospel at the end, because it pleased everybody. You know what I'm saying? You have the hip hoppers, you have the people that like the uncut videos, you have the 106 in Park, you got the Rap City, the Basement, you had all that, and then you wash it down with "Cause God." You know what I mean? So hopefully they'll bring that back.
Yeah, no, definitely. So guys, definitely appreciate y'all tapping in. Do join us at BoutTheOnline.com for more news, reviews, interviews, so on and so forth. Definitely a shouts out to Mixer Reviews for holding it down. He definitely been doing a lot of dope reviews out there. So when you get a chance, go check him out. You both FONZi NeuTRON winding it down with Floss Mode, aka Floss Angeles. You got any last words, folks?
Man, you know what I mean? Keep the peace out there. Let's keep hip hopping it. Big up to the 5150 show. Big up to all the people that support the channel. And big up to Alonzo and Dusty. You know, all our focus out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yay, peace.